All right, I'm Terry Monday, and with Heart and Soul 92.1, 1140, as well as Perry Broadcasting, had the opportunity to interview our guest on the air live, and I have him here now. Of course, Mr. Glenn Leonard, a part of the Forever Motown tour that's here in Oklahoma City. How you doing today, my brother?
I'm doing great, man.
Yeah, I want to say the interview we had on the radio was so fun, and I need to, before you start talking, I need to let the listeners know that not only are you a gentleman and you're very personable, you smell great also. I know some of those brothers are like, Terry, man, that kind of sounds freaky. This guy, because I have allergies, and normally this time of the year I start sneezing. I have not started sneezing or whatever, and you smell great. I just want to say that, man.
Well, that's a plus.
you need to travel with a suitcase and selling oils and cologne.
Maybe I will.
Okay.
You might have an idea there. Okay.
Well, tell us, give our viewers a little bit of background information about yourself before we talk about Forever Motown specifically.
I started as a youngster who was inspired by music. And I didn't mention this when I talked to you earlier, but my dad sang.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He had a Nat King Cole kind of voice.
Okay.
And my mom was a Sam Cooke lover, so we had that kind of music in our house all the time.
Yeah.
Growing up around that, it gets in you.
Yeah.
Or it ignites in you, or it opens you up. And I guess I started thinking professional when I was about 13 years old.
Okay.
That was when I started singing at the neighborhood parties and things like that. And one thing led to another, and I started my first group when I was in high school, a group called the Chancellors. We patterned ourselves after the Temptations. I'll never forget. I didn't get a chance to tell you this, but I'll throw this in here now. You remember Freddie Perrin? Freddie Perrin produced the Jacksons, Gloria Gaynor, Tavares.
Oh, big time.
Yeah. Freddie Perrin was the guy that trained me.
Okay.
Taught me about music, taught me how to harmonize and all that kind of stuff. So we had this group in high school called the Chancellors, 5 guys, and I was spearheading everything. I had seen the Temptations, and I said, that's what I'm going to do right there. So I put this group together, and Freddie Perrin was playing at a little neighborhood bar in Washington, D.C. And I was passing there, and I heard the music, and I went in. And I heard him. He had a little trio with him. I heard him playing. And so I got a chance to talk to him and told him I had a group, this and the other. So he invited us to come. He was a music student at the time at Howard University. So he invited us up to his house and said, let me see what you guys got. So he heard us. He says, y'all got real voices. So I'll work with you a little bit. So he started training us. And so I was always making sure that he kept us geared toward Motown or the Temptations.
Right.
So I don't know, at some point, I don't even remember when I said it, but I do remember saying it. I said to him, because I'm gonna sing with the Temptations one day. And I said it over and over and over. And so Freddie pulled my guys aside one time. He says, listen, you guys, keep an eye on Glenn. He's in La La Land somewhere. He really thinks he's going to sing with the Temptations. And so lo and behold, it happened.
Yeah. So how was that when you did get the call to audition for the Temptations? How did you feel before actually hopping on a plane and going out there to audition? How did it feel for you?
Well, it felt surreal. I knew something was happening. I couldn't tell whether it was an out-of-body or in-the-body experience or whatever, but I knew I was going to chase it. I was going to follow it. It was to grow up admiring somebody and then get to be a part of what they're doing. I still haven't gotten over that. Just that in itself. I mean, as an individual, as a human being with gifts and talent, you're going to get some opportunities. But to get an opportunity with the group that inspired you, that you loved, and everybody used to tell in the neighborhood, used to say, man, all that guy want to do is sing. When everybody else was playing kickball, stickball, hide and go seek, I'm in the mirror, trying to sing and smile at the same time. I had a little manager named Gertrude, and Gertrude's brothers and I were friends. And we hung out, we went everywhere together, just little neighborhood guys. And when I found out that Gertrude was a manager she started managing me.
Mhm.
And she was the one that helped me to start being professional, learning how to take care of the business and all that kind of stuff. And she would have me standing in front of a mirror singing for hours on end. And so it became the way that it was my day, you know. And you know, from there, as you continue to evolve and grow and become professional, doors open, opportunities open.
Before I ask you more questions about Forever Motown and specifically being a part of the Temptations also, what are your thoughts? I didn't have an opportunity to ask you this on the radio, but what are your thoughts about groups today? You don't see very many compared to back then when you were with the Temptations. Do you feel like that's a lost art because the dynamics of the music industry is changing, or what?
I think old school will always be around. Even though things move on. You know, old school's always going to be there. You're always going to find somebody's going to break through. You're always going to have a group, a 4-man group, a 5-man group. Somebody's going to break through. R&B is here to stay.
What do you think about? I think of, and not to put them down, like groups like Milli Vanilli and a lot of one-hit wonders. How does it feel to be a part of a group like the Temptations and Forever Motown to run and people cherish and love all those songs that you were a part of in the group that you were part of?
Well, you know, you got a lot of groups out there. I call them counterfeits, and this I'm just being real right now. There's some people that do get in the industry that don't need to be in the industry.
Right.
If you have a love for the industry or the arts, see where you fit in other areas. When you got to commit fraud, get in front of people, and pantomime, and you're not singing.
Wow.
that's not good.
What about the auto-tune? When people change their voice and some not to bash T-Pain, but he kind of started that. But the brother can sing though. But what do you think about the auto-tune?
I don't. You talking about the technology?
Yes, with the technology.
I don't mind the technology. I don't like to get too far away from the raw, real sound. That's what attracts people. You can use all that technology you want to, but can you really bring it?
Yeah. Well, let's talk specifically now about Forever Motown. What can the people expect, not only in Oklahoma City, but when you guys travel around the performance of the show?
Well, you know, we try to give people a trip down memory lane. You know, we take them back to when they were in high school, when they were down in the basement with the red light on, and Mama hollered, "Turn that light on!" So, you know, those are landmarks in our life. And music always take you back to a place and remind you where you were, what you were doing, who you were with, and that whole thing. So music is vitally important to society. I mean, not just for entertainment, but I'll give you this.
Okay.
Music transforms people.
Yes.
It's made up of 3 components basically: rhythm, melody, and lyric. Rhythm affects your body. You hear a funky beat, what's the first thing you start doing?
You're gonna tap your feet and I'm moving.
So what's happening there? The rhythm is manipulating your body.
Right.
Words, Jesus, I'm a preacher.
Right.
Don't nobody get offended. But Jesus said, my words are spirit. I submit to you, all words carry spirit.
Right.
So words affect your spirit.
Right.
Melody affects your mood. If you sing "The Thrill Is Gone" long enough, the thrill will go.
Right.
So music impacts what I call the triune person on 3 levels: spirit, soul, and body. Rhythm, melody, and words transform you. I believe this. I don't even know who told me this, but somebody once said, "You will be transformed into whatever you behold." That's biblical.
Right.
You will be transformed into whatever you behold.
Right.
So as I listened to the Temptations over and over and over, I was transformed.
Right.
So when the opportunity came, I was ready, and I fit, and it wasn't a struggle to get me in there. I had to put in the work, rehearsal, and all of that, but because I had done the preparatory stuff, you know, listening to the Temptations, I would sit down and figure out the bass parts, second tenor, baritone, all of that, lead parts. So I knew how the whole thing worked. And you know, that's the part that nobody sees.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say it's an honor and a pleasure to meet you. And I know we talked about this on the radio. I told Phoenix, I said, I'm extremely nervous because I know he's going to come in here with his entourage and one person holding your coffee, another person holding your breath mints or whatever. But you came in by yourself like the Lone Ranger without Tonto. It's an honor and a pleasure, and we're looking forward to seeing you perform
Thank you,
tonight.
sir. I appreciate it. Thank you for
All right.
having me.
All right. Thank you.